Hi guys, I'm back. You guys know what I'm in this setting here. This is question and answer time, or basically topic time. I always ask you guys on Instagram to basically like, if you guys have any other questions, like let me know, because if a lot of people are having the same question, often it's something in the collective kind of energy. Like it was really funny this morning. I started taking BCAAs again. I started taking this new one that my friend recommended, who he's super into like nutrition and stuff. Recommended a new brand of BCAAs for me to try. So I started trying them. I've had them for a bit because I just was having protein powder with BCAAs, which I really like, and I recommend. It's the Vivo Life one, which I'll link. But I started taking new BCAAs, and I was just about to post them. I had them in my, like, I had this big tumbler. It's like a marble tumbler. I'll show you. This is my new tumbler. I really love it. I got it off of Amazon from Brooklyn Blonde, actually recommendation. I needed something like this because I go to Pilates, and it's very fast paced where you don't get like water breaks. Like legitimately, if you had to go like this and open something and drink it, you wouldn't have time. Like you literally have time to maybe go like this. Like let's say you're leaned over on the reformer, just go like and get literally a sip. So I ended up getting this, and I also am going to start carrying it around. I watched one of Lindsay's video. By the way, Lindsay, if you're watching this, I think she's now in Idaho, but when she lived in LA, we were pals, and people ask me also what happened between us. We literally just kind of like ended up going our separate ways. She ended up moving and things like that. But Lindsay, if you're watching this, love you. She's saying how she brings her water with her like ever, like literally. And like if you're going somewhere in the car, you bring it. If you're going somewhere like basically she just keeps her water on her nonstop. And I was like, that's such a good idea, because I have it nonstop on me at home, but as soon as I leave, I never think to take my bottle, because I don't really want to take like a water bottle. But I feel a lot better taking a tumbler, because like if you were having coffee, right, like you feel comfortable taking your coffee everywhere, but something about carrying like a water bottle and unscrewing it and then like gulping it, that's a little bit like aggressive for me. So I really love the straw. It's like a really, it comes with two bendy straws. I'll link it down below. Anyway, off on a tangent, but I was like gonna post about my new BCAAs I was taking. I already knew I liked them because like the brand and the protein powder already had BCAAs in them. And then one of you guys messaged me and was like, hey, I'm feeling low on energy. Like I remember you talked about BCAAs, like could you talk about them? My point is, if a lot of people are having the same question, it's probably something that I like should be addressed, or something that maybe I can give you as a helpful hint on. So let's go into the questions. The first question I already looked at, and I already kind of like, not prepped, but I thought about it a little bit. People ask me what are the worst and best financial decisions that I've made. And I think that, I mean, money's kind of like a taboo subject. Like some things I think should be get personal, right? Like I really don't like when people start counting other people's money. You know, like you see it on YouTube or on social media, things like that. An over display of people like flexing or whatever, or just like people trying to like, I mean, everyone to each their own, right? But like I feel like money is a taboo subject because it can be taken to extremes. Whether it's never talked about, people don't have no guidance in how to make financial decisions, or it's like people are either not accurately representing certain things, which not that they owe anyone, or like overly, do you get what I'm saying? Like it gets in extremes. Like either no one talks about money, or people are like, here are my 5,000 things, you know what I mean? So, or like, you know those people who like, their Instagrams like just clearly trying to be like, but people who are actually like, I know some people who are actually like insanely wealthy, and those are the people who sometimes you would literally like never know. Like their Instagram is literally like, here's a photo of a piece of wood, beautiful day. Like, so anyway, I'm gonna openly talk about like some of my successful decisions, some of my not so successful decisions, and some of the best financial decisions I made. First, I'm going to start with buying furniture that you really know you're going to love and is genuinely going to be your style for a long time. I think for like 5 years ago when I first moved to LA, I just kind of wanted everything quick. I just wanted to have furniture quick, and so I just bought a bunch of kind of furniture that I was like honestly meh about. I just wanted to have furniture in my home. I thought Mia was treating her dental treat, but it's like a little bit in front of her. And then, you know, really soon after that, all of that, like I didn't like any of it. I ended up having to like get rid of a lot of that furniture. And I think that was just like a really big waste of money. Like if I were to go piece by piece and actually buy pieces I loved, I could have curated a collection earlier on of pieces that I really enjoyed that I could still probably be using today and not, didn't have to just like toss them away, right? So that would be one thing. Like after, like here, like everything I would really cultivate. I mean, some things I did order like a little bit together, but really anything I bring into my home, I'd carefully consider. Like even like glasses, like these are glasses from Etsy. Like they're like these vintage glasses. Like everything I'll bring in, whether that's like I don't know, like a rug or like something. Like I really think about everything I bring in and would rather go slowly than to just kind of rush into it. So if you're new and you're moving to your own place, or you're moving into, you're getting your own apartment or whatever it is, I know how tempting it is to just want it to be filled and want it to, like, sorry I'm playing with my hair so much, it just feels odd. Or so like you just want it to be filled and want it to like look good, and so you just immediately will maybe buy cheaper things just to get it filled. I know it's uncomfortable living in like an empty, kind of emptier house, but genuinely take your time and curate your collection so that later you're not throwing away money, and it really adds up. Like if you think back to, like, let's say each piece is relatively pricey and you end up getting rid of a lot, like you could be getting rid of like over $1,000 or more worth of. So that's something that I feel like was not the best financial decision in my early 20s, or like actually at that time I was even younger. Good financial decisions for me are we're buying like classic designer pieces for me personally that I know I love, and that are classics that I could, if I wanted to, resell for the same value, if not like greater in the future, or ones that I just really get incredible wear out of. Like some of like the bags that I've purchased, the ones that are like classic bags, like Gucci Disco Soho, my Chanel bag, just bags that are classics, I feel like I'm really happy with that I got those, because those are pieces I genuinely wear years and years and years. And if I were to divide the cost of how much the bag costs, obviously bags are, you know, overpriced, and you're you're paying for the name, and I'm not oblivious to that. I completely understand that, but if I'm getting an incredible amount of wear on them, that makes me fulfilled. And on the flip side of that, just kind of buying like more you're never gonna, like, I guess this is a quote that I would just want to tell like young girls or girls in general, like there's always new stuff coming out every damn day, every week, every month. There's always a new bag, there's always a hot bag, there's always the it bag, and it changes and fluctuates, and like you're never gonna like, you can't like live your life trying to keep up with every like it bag. Like sure you could, like a lot of, I'm for sure, fashion bloggers like keep up with every new bag that comes out, and maybe, I don't know, they keep all their bags, maybe they like get a new one, sell an old one, and continue kind of like moving down the pipeline. Like, and I don't know, I just feel like it's just kind of this feeling you're never gonna feel like you're on top of it. So instead of doing that, genuinely maybe try to find a more classic piece. If you are like gonna be in the market for a bag, or you're gonna save up for a bag, or you're just purchasing a bag, just think about what you're getting before. Like for example, I purchased a hot pink Balenciaga years ago. I mean, thankfully neon came back and I could like rock it for a moment, but like genuinely, it's not a bag, it's not an everyday bag for me. It's not a bag that I can wear often. I would have much rather bought a different bag, maybe even honestly that same mini in like a black that I could still wear, instead of just like getting this like kind of fun current trendy bag and not really wearing it again. So I think that's just something to really consider, is investing in pieces that you're gonna get a lot of wear out of, and that are gonna maintain value. Or I mean, at the end of the day, like obviously everyone's free to do what they want with their money, and no one should be like controlled or told. Again, this is all just like my personal advice and my experience, but it could be much, if I could personally go back, I would keep, of course, the pieces that I like are staple pieces, and instead of getting those kind of like super niche random bags, to get some more classic ones. I do still have like one that it's kind of more of like a fun one, but to me it's still a classic, and I'm really happy I got it. It's like the Balenciaga mini city bag in like a gray suede. Another thing would just be buying like excessive beauty products. Like I am such a beauty lover at hand. If you've watched my MAC hauls from when I was like really young, you know that I like love beauty so much. But I just remember like I would constantly refer to Sephora and see what was new and see what was out. I just wanted to try everything. I think that's why, like, I mean, I think that's why a lot of us like love beauty and fashion, because we just love to try new things, love to see like a new result, like a new product, how will this work, and we just love that excitement of it. But at the same time, I think now I'm very reasonable, like I will literally repurchase a product if I know it's like something I really love, or I've researched a lot of reviews. Thankfully, you know, because of like the industry that I'm in, I get to try out a lot of beauty products which I love, and then I only really share the ones that I like love with you guys. On Instagram, I'll share like a bunch of packages just so you guys can kind of see what's new and what's coming. I think it's kind of cool, and I'm more than willing to do like swatches and stuff if people are really requesting it. But what I show like in videos, like on here, if I'm using a product, like I literally usually love it. Like everything in my face right now, I'm like in love with. But really, I'll just kind of get like only replace the products like I need. Like let's say I'm out of like, before I'd be like, oh, I need another new lip gloss and another new lip gloss. Now I'm like, you know, I have like 10, relax. I mean, every once in a while maybe I cave, but like for the most part I'm not buying like eyeshadow palettes, and like I just was so obsessive with that kind of stuff, and now I'm really like you know, do I really need this extra brown eyeshadow? Do I really need this product? And I really get things I need, like if I'm out of powder, out of foundation, like really more staple product. Next question is is it true creating a routine and sticking to it, waking up early, tricks, full week of workouts? That's like, I'm sure there's a bunch of ideas, but basically in general, like my thing is like, it is uncomfortable to create a new routine in the beginning. There's like this quote I saw at KGMTL she posted yesterday, which was like 21 days to form a habit, 90 days to form a lifestyle. And it's so true, genuinely. Like the first 3 weeks of doing anything new is difficult. I remember when I first transitioned into kind of my new morning routine, this was months ago, right? Like in the summer, of waking up early and working out and then walking me and then doing all these things. I wanted to be that kind of person who was up at it early in the morning, like rise and shine, like making my lemon water, like going to my workout class, like out and about, like a morning person, interacting with people in the morning. Like, that's the person I wanted to be in at that time. I was still kind of like transitioning and like, yeah, I was like kind of a morning person, but my routine was like different. Some days I'll look like this, some days it'd look like this, but I wanted something consistent. And you literally just have to, that's why I always say this, but oftentimes for change, people need like a really big, not big, but some sort of catalyst, because like, right, like if you're doing something that's comfortable and consistent until like something shakes you, whether your intuition comes through super strong, maybe a friend tells you, or maybe you're just sick of a certain way of being. When you make that change and you stick through it, that's when you see results. Like it's almost like when people are like, you know what, that's it, I'm done, I'm moving on from anything, like from this lifestyle, from this way of being. When they make that shift, you almost have to take that momentum and remind yourself why you do it and just stick to it for 3 weeks, and it will get easier and easier. I know it's like really, people say that and it's just easy to hear, and it can go in one ear, out in one ear, out the other, but just genuinely, just for 21 days, be like, I'm gonna wake up every day and do this. And even if you don't want to do it, just commit to 21 days. Tell yourself, like, after 21 days, I can be more gentle on my body, or I can decide if I want to take a day off, or if I want to, you know, change up my routine one day. But for 21 days, just tell yourself that you're going to stick to it, and it will get easier. And then it is true, 90 days to form a lifestyle. I think that 90 days, like around that time, maybe it could be 60 to 90, but of eating like healthy or eating clean, or plant-based or whatever it is, it's gonna like, you're gonna get into it. And then after that good amount of time, it really does become your lifestyle. Like it literally is the way it becomes your natural kind of inclination. Like when I go get groceries, like my natural inclination is genuinely to get the groceries that I get, like my healthy groceries, my produce. And it wasn't always that way. I wasn't always guided to that. I wasn't always drawn to that or consistent to that. It's really after it's become a lifestyle. So I always tell everyone to find your why. Your why just has to be really strong, because if your why is not strong, like, or what I would do is just like remind myself, like, tell yourself like who you want to be, like who is the person I want to be, like what does that person look like, and be that person. And it is difficult at first, like you literally have to make the conscious choice, like I'm gonna be that person, I'm gonna be the 2.0 version of myself, I'm gonna be the 2.0, like you have to literally like in a decision be like, what would the next version of me do? What would the next version of me do? What would the next version of me do? Like, you get what I'm saying? And then before you know it, decision to decision to decision, you're like, you know, like you're kind of like merging into the next, your new version. And before you know it, your like way of being and your way of interacting with the world is of that you before only like imagine. Like you become the person that you've been acting as if, almost like you embody that. And so that's another tip I would say.